Welcome in everyone, James here. This video is about the latest update. There's a lot of stuff in this update and it's quite exciting stuff as well. So there's quite a bit to get through. Let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Dark Portal. It is included in this update. I'm pretty certain it's not going to start until after Dark Tour has finished. But what it is it's a mini event. It lasts for a week and it's basically a way to get your hands on old event skins. Other than those expensive chests that I don't recommend anybody buy ever at all. And when it comes out, I will cover it in a video and let you know what I think about it when it is in the game. And then the next thing in this update is Karnheim enemies are getting nerfed across the board. All of the Karnheim enemies are getting their health and their damage lowered, and it should make Karnheim itself easier. It should make the Expert Rift easier, and it should make the Dark Onslaught dungeon easier. But I'd still recommend that you check out my guides for the best way to progress through, because this is all in preparation for the next region. It's gonna these nerfs to Karnheim is gonna make Expert Rift and Karnheim a little bit more accessible to people playing differently, different classes and stuff like that. But I'm not convinced that the meta will change, and I still think moving forward into the next region, Grim is still going to be the best hero in the game. But we shall see when it comes out. I'll be covering it in plenty of videos and stuff like that. And then the next thing that is included in this update are the economy rebalances. Now they already upgraded the materials we get from hunts, but then to add to that, what they're going to do is they're going to boost the hero XP you get from shrines. So putting your heroes in the shrines will level them up faster. Boosted production rates from the Midderfen and White Peak Tellurian and Vulcanite mines, so you can get more stuff from your mines, which is just a bonus. The shop in the Realm of Fire where you can upgrade the Vulcanite and the Tellurian, it costs you a little bit of gold and you can upgrade it to the next one. What they're going to do to that shop is they're going to add the ability to downgrade as well. So like in the normal rift, you get 50 pure Vulcanite a time from choices. If you've been stocking up on them, you should have quite a lot of that stuff. You're going to be able to downgrade it, which is huge for your mythic upgrades when you start needing that one. That's the hardest one to get, is the fine. So you're going to be able to downgrade your pure to fine. It's just, that's huge. And then there's going to be a brand new shop in Realm of Fire as well, and what you can do in that one is you can take your manganese and you can downgrade it into cobalt, or you can take cobalt and upgrade it into manganese. You can take your malachite, upgrade it into cobalt. It's huge. It's going to be so good for when you are pushing your rift power and upgrading your rift power. Definitely a huge positive, this one. Now the last thing in this update, which is gonna be the majority of this video, is hero rebalancing. There's quite a lot to get through because they're changing quite a few heroes here. I do have to tell you, I'm going to start by telling you that they're not touching Dr. Flox. Do not ask me why. I don't know why, but they're not touching Dr. Flox. But anyway, let's get into it. This is what is happening. Heroes that heal armor will be getting a buff because they only heal armor and they don't heal health, but they still heal at the same rate as heroes that do heal health. So those heroes are Pentatonics and Wormwood, and they are just getting a straight up buff to their heal on base power. Nijiro is getting a buff. His base power gives you focus for 1 turn. It's going to be buffed to 3 turns. Nico's rage damage is getting buffed because she's a distributor, so she's going to be dealing higher damage, but it's distributed, so it's yeah, it's still a bit meh because she's green. But anyway, the base powers that hit in a column will be getting a buff because they currently deal the same damage as base powers that swipe the front row, whereas the ones that hit the front and the back row, which is maximum 2 enemies, they're going to be getting a buff. So that's Tara and Aaron. They're going to be getting a buff. Victor's also does the same. It hits the front and the back, but they say that they are happy with the damage that Victor's base power does, so he's not getting a buff along with those two. And then the max star perks that are getting changed. All of the max star perks that affect minions are getting changed. And now I know out of the 3 people that still play mage, there's been a lot of moaning that Balendos is pretty bad. So they're changing Balendos to increase critical chance against golem enemies by 50%, and that is pretty huge because when you're thinking about high scores for the guild bosses and stuff like that, that is pretty huge. I'll probably be doing a video on that. Blaine, he had plus 20% damage from troll minions. He has now got increased critical chance against goblin enemies 50%. Grizz boosted your beast minions. He now has increased critical chance by 30%. That's going to be pretty useful for arena, that one. Geber boosted golem minions. He now has weaken on base power, which I gotta be honest, that's pretty useless. That's pretty redundant considering what his base power does, and weaken on single target. It's not very good. Grax boosted your goblin minions by 20%. He now has poison on base power for his max star perk. Utis now has expose on his base power for his max star perk. Pentatonics, now I know that this one is pretty popular in the minion build. He has been changed. He now has the chance to unfocus all enemies on his rage power. And the last one on the list is Victor. He's getting a bit of a rework. His base power is not getting buffed, but his rage power used to give you focus for 3 turns, but they are changing it to give you a regen for 3 turns, and his max star perk is now to have focus on his rage power. So if you have got Victor max stars, his rage power now gives you regen and focus at the same time. And that's it. Unfortunately, they didn't touch Dr. Flox or Lance or a couple of the other weird ones, but there's some pretty good changes in there. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty excited about the changes to the shops and stuff like that. There's some pretty good changes all around, and I think they've been listening to the community, and I think this is Midoki going in the right direction. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been James B09. Good luck out there.